NBC 26's Raquel Lamel is live in Ashwaubenon where the Railbirds, they were out in force for today's first practice, weren't they, Raquel?
Yes, they were, Stacy. I'm out here at Ray Nitschke Field, where tons of people line the sidewalk and the bleachers over there just to get a glimpse of the green and gold. Small businesses like this one say they can't compete with advertising like Cabela's, so they get their business out there by being a part of the community. The other option, a 16-story high-rise luxury hotel. Instead, Green Bay City Council voted for the original plan, keeping the skyline of Green Bay much like it is behind me. With these two big companies, both Lockheed Martin and Marinette Marine, being in the same city, the testing of these big ships is about to get a lot more productive. Although you're on the water, inspectors say drinking and boating can have the same implications as drinking and driving. A typical sturgeon spawning season is expected to last anywhere from 7 to 10 days. But with the way the weather's been, the DNR says this season could be as short as 4 days. Now, as you can see, Casey, the street is lined with cars behind me as people go in and out of Eisenhower Elementary. And with 95% of the student body either on free or reduced lunch, it's no wonder groups came together to fund this food pantry.
NBC 26's Raquel Lamel continues our team coverage from Maribel.
The Maribel Caves Hotel has been a sight to see in this area for more than a century, and even after last night's storm damage, it's still the center of attraction.
Although the Fox River is just beginning to crest, locals tell me this is nothing. But at just 13 feet, you can already see this bench is almost entirely underwater. Water quality experts say if you go in waist deep and can't see your feet, then you should not swim there. It's an alarming trend many aren't aware of: geotagging. Pictures uploaded to the web from your phone can give away where you live, who you hang out with, and even your favorite places. Now, Wisconsin Street is still blocked off today, but the fire chief tells me last night there were wires coming out of this house, which potentially could have been explosives. And in a situation like that, the fire department says they proceed with much caution. Some farmers have lost almost 2/3 of their crops, and the little they can plant is almost a month behind schedule. Like this corn crop, which should be up to my knees right now, barely hits my ankles. Now, Stacy, this letter went out to 14,000 homes across Wisconsin. It says important info regarding your water line. Now, doors opened at 11 this morning, and as you can see, the parking lot still filled with cars now, hours later. Now, purses and seat cushions with pockets or zippers will not be allowed. There are ways to shut this off, though. On an iPhone, you have to go under Settings, hit Privacy, and turn off the camera tracking as well as Facebook and Twitter if you don't want those. On an Android, just go under Settings, under Location, and turn those off.
It's our big story at 6.
It says don't land here. It's starting. The wind just picked up and it's starting to rain.
The owner of Skydive Adventures in Omro speaking out today after a risky jump that ended with this skydiving instructor losing his life in Lake Butimore. The company's owner says it's a jump that never should have happened. NBC 26's Raquel Lamel is live at 6 with new details.
Stacy, when the storm started rolling in on Tuesday, the owner of the skydiving business says they tried to call the jumpers back, warning them conditions were not safe, a warning that wasn't followed. Bill Hassenfuss is the owner of Skydive Adventure in Omro.
That storm looked like it was coming faster than we thought it was.
He says Paul Olson was an expert skydiver with over 5,000 jumps and even owned his own business.
He could do 10, 12 tandems in one day, and if there's a little break or anything, he'd go up and do a fun jump.
Yet when the storms rolled in, Hassenfuss thought they should call off the jump.
And I actually radioed up to the airplane and told him to abort the jump.
But Olson felt he could do it, even though Hassenfuss says he told them to land in Oshkosh because the weather had gotten bad at their landing spot in Omro.
I drove over to Oshkosh to pick him up, thinking Paul was still in the airplane, and the pilot said they jumped.
Hassenfuss says the passenger who did the tandem jump with Olson said everything was fine until they started swimming to shore.
The passenger explained they landed in the lake together. They unbuckled, got out of the harness, started swimming for shore. But when he reached a weed bed, he looked around and Paul wasn't there.
Hassenfuss says all he can do now is wait for the police to conclude their investigation into what exactly went wrong. To Hassenfuss, Olson was like family and will be greatly missed. At Skydive Adventure, Hassenfuss is continuing tandem jumps. He says that's the way Olson would have wanted it. Raquel Lamel, NBC 26.
NBC 26's Raquel Lamel is live in Ashwaubenon where the Railbirds, they were out in force for today's first practice, weren't they, Raquel?
Yes, they were, Stacy. I'm out here at Ray Nitschke Field, where tons of people line the sidewalk and the bleachers over there just to get a glimpse of the green and gold.
We got to get a roster.
Yeah.
All the new guys.
Nancy Okolowitz and her husband John drove from Milwaukee to be at training camp this morning.
It brings our family, who is all over the country, together. Every Sunday we talk about it. We cheer together even though we're in different places.
And bringing families together is just part of what training camp is about.
Oh, it's a good time. It's fun to watch them.
What do the Packers do?
Kids get involved too, since the players ride their bikes to and from practice. It's a sense of community that impresses Carlos Cabrera, who's from south of the equator.
They're friendly. I mean, you know, they rally around their team. It's a community.
For Okolowitz, training camp is an important part of the football season.
When you come to training camp, you start at the basic level of the training and you see how it is this, where you can just come and see them right across the fence, and soon they're superstars on TV.
Football superstars uniting people from all over the globe.
Now, events are surrounding training camp all weekend long. There's the Packers Experience, a 5K run tomorrow night at Lambeau Field, and of course, practice starts bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. In Green Bay, Raquel Lamel, NBC 26.
All right, thanks a lot, Raquel. NBC 26's Raquel Lamel has more.
Toby Curtis counting down the hours until Cabela's opens. He's the owner of Pedal and Paddle in Ashwaubenon, and he's been bracing for this inevitable hit to business.
We've definitely talked to vendors and made sure what we're carrying is not going to be in Cabela's.
Small businesses like this one say they can't compete with advertising like Cabela's, so they get their business out there by being a part of the community.
We support bike rides, some other events out of the store. We do some maintenance classes.
The Cabela's parking lot already packed with Packers shareholders, given special entrance today. Customers are buzzing.
We'll be coming back here more often. I mean, I enjoy this store. It's got a lot of variety of different stuff here.
Gander Mountain, not so busy. They know their business will be affected too. A spokesperson tells NBC 26 in a statement, Gander Mountain has built an incredible base of loyal patrons in America's Dairyland. We always welcome healthy competition. Cabela's doors open tomorrow at 11 a.m. Raquel Lamel, NBC 26.